Hi, this is Sukanya Thakur, and I welcome you to my YouTube channel, Pen Set Go. And again, welcome to this particular session where we are going to start with our beginner's course for brush calligraphy. So, what it is, or I would say, like, what this course is all about, it is actually going to be a detailed step by step beginner friendly course for brush calligraphy where all those who are looking forward to see brush calligraphy or already struggling with the basics or who are completely new at calligraphy can learn directly. Okay. And what is so special about this? Actually, in this course, I'm not going to show you just tutorials, the same as usual tutorials you find on YouTube. No, I am going to teach every detailed basics in a step by step manner the way I teach in my paid courses. Okay, so this is going to be a proper brush calligraphy course and not just tutorials or the playlist of tutorials you find normally on YouTube. Okay, so you will be getting one videos, step by step, and in every video I'll be following a module wise structure, starting from first class where I'll be discussing the basic concepts, theory, and introduction and tools requirement and going step by step towards the drill practice, then basic strokes, then letters, right, then obviously the word writing practice. So I will be covering everything in detail, so make sure that you subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you get the notification of my video timely and you watch it um, with your whole heart. Okay, all I need in return is your support on my channel and your my um, dedication to learn with my course. Okay, so yeah, it is going to be my very first tutorial, not tutorial, but a proper YouTube video for um, my calligraphy course. So I am a little nervous, but I'm sure that this series is going to be a great hit. So let's get started with the class one. So this is going to be the class one. Okay, so we are going to start with the introduction. First, introduction of what? I'm not jumping start with the brush calligraphy directly. First, we'll understand the meaning of calligraphy. As a beginner, we must understand the concept of calligraphy before starting any of its specific style. Okay, so let's understand the meaning of calligraphy. So, what is calligraphy? Okay, so calligraphy has been, just a second, let me adjust it. Okay, so calligraphy word derives from two Greek words, callus and graphene. Okay, many people or at many places you will find the graphene word as graphos written, but yeah, it's just the same meaning it carries. Callus and graphene. The cali word has come from callus, and the graphy comes from graphene, whereby callus means beautiful and graphene means to write. Okay, so if we combine it together, it becomes to write beautifully. So the only meaning of word calligraphy says that to write beautifully, but it is not all about just writing beautifully. Calligraphy is way more than that. Calligraphy is an art basically of writing. And how? Actually, the way you can see that whenever we are going to learn something, whether it is music, dance, or cooking, we need some skills to develop first, right? In order to do it. Because without that, it can be your hobby, but it cannot be your profession or it cannot be called as an art until unless we have that skill. And calligraphy is the same kind of art. Art of what? It is art of decorative writing. Now, what does it mean? Decorative writing means beautiful writing, or it is an art of writing in a way that it should look pleasing and beautiful, but at the same time, it is not just random beautiful writing. It follows some skill, some set of rules, some sort of structures before doing. So we have to do it deliberately, step by step. So we cannot say that if a person has a good handwriting, he or she is writing in calligraphy. Handwriting and calligraphy both are very different from each other. Okay, calligraphy is an art of decorative writing, whereas handwriting is our own unique writing style. Okay, so there is certain difference between calligraphy and handwriting. Many people, as a beginner, associate both the things, the same, but actually they are not. Okay, calligraphy is an art of writing where we are deliberately constructing each and every letter step by step, whereas handwriting is something that we develop over the period of time. It is the result of our subconscious mind training, where we have already learned some set of letter forms and our mind has developed that muscle memory and we know that how to write. But there are no kind of bindings where we are required to write letters with proper spacing or beautiful formations are required. No, if I'm writing letter R like this and you are writing letter R like this, nobody's going to judge you because it is just a part of your writing. Okay, so handwriting is unique to every person, whereas calligraphy is same because calligraphy is a deliberate effort of writing. It is an art. So the way, if one has taught you Bharatanatyam, you will be doing the same Bharatanatyam as your teacher or as your fellow who are already learning Bharatanatyam. In the same way, if I have taught you calligraphy, say brush calligraphy or copper plate calligraphy or Devanagari calligraphy, my calligraphy will be same like yours after a certain time of practice because you and me have followed the same set of rules, same set of approaches, and same technique of writing. Right? If in calligraphy letter A has to be written like this, it has to be written like this. But in handwriting, some people write A like this, some write like this, and some write like this. But nobody is asking why you are writing like this. Ultimately, it is letter A. But in calligraphy, we have to follow a set or specified way of doing. A, a fixed approach is to be followed every time when we are doing calligraphy. So calligraphy is an art of writing, beautiful writing, decorative writing, and we have to learn it before doing it. Okay, handwriting is just our own unique writing style. It cannot be same of two-person. It will vary even in your blood relations. Your father's handwriting will not be same as yours. Your handwriting will not be same as your sibling or uh, or your mother, your father, brother, sister, colleagues. Nobody is going to have no two persons will be having same handwriting, but the calligraphy will be same of everyone. Say if I am doing copper plate calligraphy, yours one will be the same one if you are already knowing that. Okay, so this was the brief introduction of calligraphy. Calligraphy is an art of decorative handwriting. You can see this is my handwriting, but this is my calligraphy. I have written in brush calligraphy with a small tip brush pen, and this is my calligraphy, and this is my handwriting. Both are extremely different. Why? Because handwriting is my own style of writing, and calligraphy is my skill, which I have acquired over a period of time after learning set of rules, structures. The rules, structures are basic strokes that we will be discussing in later classes, and concepts. Okay. So this was the brief introduction of calligraphy. That what calligraphy is. Calligraphy is an art of decorative writing, and now we will be going towards a specific style of calligraphy, which is brush calligraphy. Now, what is brush calligraphy? Let's understand it. So, brush calligraphy, what it is and how it has got its name. Brush calligraphy actually is that style of calligraphy which is done using a brush or a brush pen. Okay, from the name it suggests it is that set of calligraphy done which is done using a brush or a brush pen. Initially, it was done using round tip brushes. Some have also used flat brushes. But means it was basically done. It used to done with the brushes, but with the modern advancement and availability of convenient options in the market in the name of brush pens, where you do not need to dip your brush in ink or paint or colors, or there is no need to wash your brushes again and again. Brush pens were such a convenient option that has totally changed the way brush calligraphy was used to be approached. So yeah, calligraphy which is done using brush or brush pens is called as brush calligraphy. Okay, that is the simplest meaning or definition that you can understand. Right now, what type of brushes or brush pens? As I've already mentioned that it was done using brushes, but we are not going to do it with brushes because as I've already told you that we have now convenient options available in the market in the form of brush pens. But there are huge variety of brush pens available in the market today, whether it is in national market or international market. Now it becomes really confusing for us, like which brush pens we should choose. Some says Indian brush pens are good. Some says we should buy Japanese brush pens. So what brush pens we should buy? What type of brush pens are available? Now I will be telling you everything. So actually, we divide brush pens into three category mainly. Okay, what three categories? Okay, I think I should. It can be done over here only. So three classifications we have or categories of brush pens. Although we have numerous brands available, numerous types or styles of brush pens available, but these are mainly classified into three categories: large tip brush pen, medium tip brush pen, and small tip brush pen. I will also be uh, showing you some of the examples how large tip looks and how small tip looks. Okay, so this is Dom's brush pen. You can easily find in your local stationery stores. So the thickness of stroke we get from a brush pen's tip defines its category basically. So you can see this much thick stroke I am getting with a large tip brush pen. And Dom's brush pens and Camlin brush pens falls under the category of large tip brush pen. Then comes medium tip. You can easily see the thickness of a medium tip brush pen is like approximately half of the large tip brush pen, and this is the maximum thickness you can get from a medium tip brush pen. And this is Sakura koi coloring brush pen. And others you can find Tombow feud brush pen. I think I will be naming down all the different types of brush pens, categorizing in different large, medium, and small in the description. You will find out there. Okay, now let me show you the small tip brush pen. This is Tombow Furunosuke small tip brush pen, and you can see the thickness of small tip brush pen is approximately half of the medium tip. So small tip is basically 1/4 of large tip and half of medium tip. I have one more brush pen in the small tip category. It is a Pentel sign brush pen, and it has the same thickness like the Tombow one. Okay, so these are the three categories in which you put all of your brush pens up, whether it is Ecoline brush pens, Sakura brush pens, or can say Tombow brush pens, Add Gel, then Camlin, Domes, all of those brands and um, different types of brush pens can be only categorized into these three. Now it depends upon your need that which brush pen you want to use. But as a beginner, what which brush pen you should use? So as a beginner, I will always recommend to go with a large tip brush pen because in the Indian market, these are easily available because only the Indian brands like Doms and Camlin manufacture such a large tip brush pen. Other brands like Japanese brands or any other brands only manufacture medium and small tips. And even in international market, people categorize only in two categories only, which is medium and small, and they do not call medium as medium tip brush pen. They call it as large tip brush pen because they do not have DOMs and Camlin available there. So for them, medium is the large tip and small is the small tip. But we have some more varieties available in the form of DOMs and Camlin. So as a beginner, since you can get these brush pens easily in your local stationery stores and at rupees 200 or 250 you get around 12 to 14 set like 14 brush pens in one set, whereas other brands like Japanese brand Sakura or Koi or Tombow, you will get one brush pen at that cost. So as a beginner, I won't recommend you to go with such expensive brush pens. You can simply go with Domes, Camlin, or also you can try Argel and Flair. Okay, I personally have started my brush calligraphy journey with Domes brush pens, so I recommend Domes and Camlin to you. Okay, so these were the three categories. What else you need with brush pens? Uh, Beside brush pens, so you need paper, obviously. So what kind of paper you should be using for your brush calligraphy practice? So since you are using brush pens and if DOMs and Camlin, you know that brush pens are quite delicate. They should be highly taken care of while using on any paper. So how to maintain them, because they are very prone to get damaged easily. So it is on us how we are using them. So in order to increase their shelf life and to be able to use them for a longer period of time, you have to very carefully use them. And how? You should be using a very smooth paper for your practice. You cannot use rough paper or any paper that has texture on it. Otherwise, your brush pen will easily get damaged. The tip of the brush pen will get frayed up, and you will not be able to get thin, crisp strokes while doing your practice. Although after a certain period of time, your brush pens get damaged, and it is normal thing. But in order to just extend that period so that your brush pens can stay for a longer period of time, you should be taking care of it in the form of proper right paper and right care. So paper, how which paper should be you should be using smooth or super smooth paper. Okay, super smooth paper, and paper should always be a little thick. Like you cannot use any thin notebook paper for your practice. Why? Because um, thin paper will absorb the inks from the brush pen very quickly, and which makes them dried up very fastly. So in order to maintain that thing, and in order to prevent that thing, yeah, that means drying up from prevent your pens from drying up, you should be using a thicker paper. Now how much paper? A thumb rule says more than 100 gsm is good, like 100 gsm or above that is good. But I have personally used 90 gsm paper as well and 85 gsm paper as well. It depends upon the paper's quality, so you have to check out yourself that which paper suits your need. But it should be super smooth and it should be able to hold the ink. If your paper is absorbing too much ink, that means it is not good for your brush pen practice. Okay, so 100 gsm paper and super smooth paper. 100 GSM and above that is good. Now, what brands of paper you can use? As other calligraphers recommend, I also recommend going with JK Sidar 100 GSM, then JK Excel Bond, right? Then you can use ivory sheets also, but ivory sheets are quite expensive. Like you will get single sheet for 5 to 10 rupees in the market. So, but yeah, for your artworks and something, you can use ivory sheets also. Ivory sheets are quite smooth and thick. So, ivory sheets can also be used in any thick paper. But do not use any normal copier paper that you get for your laser printing purposes, like JK copier paper, and 75 GSM paper or 80 GSM paper or 70 GSM paper is not good for your brush pen calligraphy practice. Okay, so paper should always be super smooth and above 100 GSM. And never ever use textured or rough paper for your practice. Never, or you will damage your brush pen very quickly. I have done that thing. I've been a culprit of doing this. That I've bought my like Dome's metallic set, and at that time I was not having any knowledge of how to use them, how to what paper we should be using. So I used them continuously on a rough textured paper, and within 2 to 3 days my brush pen got damaged. So I don't want you to repeat the same mistake. So always use super smooth 100 GSM paper or above that. So that was all about the paper and the pens. Apart from that, you need basic stationery to draw your own guidelines, right? So I will be talking about guidelines in my next video, particularly. Before that, now, for the sake of now, we'll be keeping the session till this point only, where you have learned the basic meaning of calligraphy, then what is brush calligraphy, what types of brush pens you can have, and what paper you should be using. So keep that material ready for your next class, because in the next class, we'll be learning about the guidelines and maybe drills as well. Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting series. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon and let me know your comments. How did you like the video or not, and what suggestions you have for my upcoming videos. Okay, and if you have any doubts or questions regarding any material supply or thing, you can simply message down or type down in your comment in the comment section. You can also connect to me directly on my Instagram page, which is at the rate pen set go. Okay, you can directly connect to me. I will put the link in the description box. You can ask your queries there also. So yeah, meet you in the next video. Till then, take care, goodbye, and keep smiling.